What's up, guys? So, this is going to be my follow up on our training level series. Last time we talked about training age and what that means and what the implications of your training age are. Today I'm going to talk about level one. So, um, level one, a couple things. This is what I'm looking for most people to do after they do our fundamentals program. So, basically, fundamentals is the first step in coming into a CrossFit program successfully. There's a lot of ways you could do that. We choose to do fundamentals because it lets us be a little more individualized with new people. But that is the baseline foundation for what level one is all about, and that is skill development. We want to make sure that you're starting off on the right foot, that you have your basic movement patterns down, and now that programming should nurture you continuing to improve upon and develop your basic foundational movement patterns. So you should be able to squat correctly, you should be able to deadlift correctly, you should be able to press correctly and pull correctly, and you should start to learn how to apply that in a lot of different baseline or basic variations. So you shouldn't just be able to press this direction correctly. You should also be able to press overhead correctly. You should also be able to press downward correctly. And same thing with pulling and squatting with different variations like the front squat and the overhead squat. These are all things that we want to make sure we're developing in level one. So we have some standards, some strength baselines, and some conditioning baselines that we expect to see happen in level one. That are outside of the basic principles that we want to see as a beginner, which, just as a review, remember that skill development, right? We need to see competency over time, and that's going to take a different amount of time for every individual. We expect to see hypertrophy occur, so building some baseline skeletal muscle so your body can handle moving and doing some of the higher level skills down the road. And just everybody likes to look a little bit better, and building a little bit of baseline skeletal muscle does that. Some people call that tone. It's hypertrophy. Okay, tone doesn't exist. Hypertrophy is what makes you look toned. All right. So and get you in shape. Your fitness improves. Okay. So we talked about in the last video. That's going to typically our metcons are going to be done with a little bit lower skill to allow you to focus on just getting in shape. And not have to think about this complex skill you're doing in a metcon. So our level one standards. So what we're trying to work you up to over time, not walk in day one. I expect you to have this. I expect nothing day one. All right. So our level one things that we're trying to develop with level one is we're wanting to work you up towards a body weight deadlift for 10 reps. Okay. So for a lot of people in level one, a big goal is to lose body weight, right? So as you're losing body weight and getting stronger, that goal starts to come a little bit faster. And we're looking for you to front squat half your body weight for 10 reps. And for the strength goals here, we don't just want to see it happen. I don't want to see you grind through with a bunch of ugly squats and like rounding your back on all your deadlifts and losing position. What we want to see is that you're doing that well. Not just that you're able to do it, but you can do it well. Because again, remember, foundation, talking about skill. We want good skill. We want to develop your first strict chin-ups. Okay, so for guys, we're looking for 5 unbroken. That's from a dead hang, so arms all the way straight, to chin all the way over the bar, and 5 reps without stopping. And for ladies, we're looking for 3 reps, right? Push-ups, we want 20 reps. That's going to be from a straight arm to chest and hips all the way to the floor, so that you're touching. I like to see those be hand release, just because it makes it a little more true. And we want to see those with pretty good technique. I want to see your body stay in a pretty straight line. They shouldn't all look like you're rolling up off the floor necessarily. And for ladies, that's going to be 10 reps. And then for core, I want to see you be able to do 30 ab mat sit-ups without stopping. Okay, and I could swap that out with seeing a 30 to 45 second hollow body hold with good position. I'd be satisfied with that too. Those of you that have done that for a while know that's pretty tough. And then our conditioning test for that, which is pretty variable. I have a lot of things that I look for when I'm looking at how well you're responding to conditioning in general on whether or not we'll recommend you go up or down. But a conditioning workout is, we want to see 3 rounds under 10 minutes of a 250-meter row, 10 wall ball shots at either 20 pounds for guys, 14 pounds for ladies, 10 kettlebell swings, 53 pounds for guys, 35 pounds for ladies. Those are going to be Russian swings. And 10 box jumps at 24 inches for guys and 20 inches for ladies. Now, again, I don't have to see that in that structure. And we know what we're looking for when to kind of encourage you to move up. When we see certain skills happen unbroken in a Metcon, we know that you're about ready to move up. And then for the Olympic lifts, we want to see that before we move you past level 1 when we're training the Olympic lifts, we want to see that you're able to do a power snatch, meaning we don't necessarily expect you to have an overhead squat perfect yet, or a full snatch perfect yet, but you should be actively working on your overhead squat. And we should see the bar path correct, you hitting all of your positions correctly, and that's the level 1 programming is expressly written to allow you to have more time to practice those things specifically. And the coaching staff will give you complexes to work on, skills to work on to help you get that. And again, these are things that take time, and it's not necessarily a set time period. It's not everybody is going to learn how to snatch in a month. Some people it's going to take years, and there's nothing wrong with that, because in the process of doing that, you develop coordination, you improve your mobility. The overhead squat is one of the most challenging things a lot of people will ever do, because it requires so much flexibility and motor control. So what's what we call mobility. So those are our baselines for level 1, and all of our programming, whether it be strength programming, skill programming, or Metcon programming, is built around getting you to the point where you can handle those things. And if you notice, a lot of that is just really basic strength work. Can you deadlift correctly with a decent load for a decent number of reps? Can you squat correctly with decent mobility, like a front squat, right? With good range of motion and good technique. And can you do some of the basic gymnastic skills that we need you to do? So do you have the basic core strength, the basic positions, doing the push-up and the pull-up? And if you don't yet, there are certain things that you're going to benefit from doing more than just, willy-nilly trying to do a bunch of pull-ups and workouts. It's not going to work out for you very well because you don't have one yet. And we certainly aren't going to progress you or skip you to kipping pull-ups when you're not prepared for them. All right, so that's level 1. Level 2 coming at you later.